Definitely following you on Instagram. My wife, like she's a PA. She follows a lot of medical pages, and she found that your page was very helpful and shared a lot of them with me. Basically things about balancing blood sugar and spikes that I deal with as well. And her and I were still just kind of miserable about trying to balance my blood sugars with all the medications I had and just not really seeing too much improvement. So we're reaching out and just wanted to see what we can do. And we thought you were very helpful in your Instagram, and we knew if we worked with you directly, it would be beneficial. It was diagnosed type 2, and it was like that for a very long time. And with diet and exercise, it balanced the blood sugar really well. For a long time, I was around 120 to 115. I felt like things were on the right track. And then it slowly started to go up higher and higher. I think my insulin resistance really kicked in over time as I was getting older. In a span of like 3 years, I watched it go up. And some of the tests that you suggested for blood work, when during one of your Q&As, we put in a question for it. And she used that, it worked. She was very impressed, and that's why we decided, hey, we're not getting much from our endocrinologist right now. He just kind of say, oh, let me go ahead and see how this works and see you in another 2 months. And things weren't in a position where I could wait much longer. So reached out to you, and it was immediate help, and it was great. Just kind of controlling the balance. Basically, would wake up and it'd be about 180 to 185. Overnight, it would spike, and I wasn't quite sure why. I would basically have zero carbs and eat less of pretty much anything. I was just trying to, towards the end there, stay anywhere beneath 180, and I seemed like I couldn't do it. So I know it could be much worse, but for me, I heard that's the number that, it starts to become a long game issue for our health. So just really just trying to balance it and not understanding why, getting frustrated. It was pretty hopeless for a minute there because nothing would work until we learned about the LADA diagnosis and things started to make more sense, and we connected the dots, and having the insulin eventually was a game changer. Not really. I mean, like I've mentioned before, Brooke followed you for quite some time. There's some pointers that you gave us that put us in the right direction to actually find the right diagnosis. And just based on that, and then just your helpful posts that you do, kind of sold it for us. We weren't skeptical at all. We were excited to start it with you. It's come around big time. So right now, it almost seems too good to be true. I'll wake up, I'm in 110, 120 like I was in the past, where I was working very hard to balance the diet, and it's not even as difficult as it was then. Now I'm introducing carbs, I'm eating more things that I like, I'm putting on more weight. With my exercise, I feel more muscle growing, which is a big part of adding carbs as well. And just peace of mind as well. Once in a while I'll see it spike, like we discussed, the other day, to 180, but only for a small, brief amount of time. And that's when I'm trying new things out. And other than having that be my everyday and every morning waking up to, if that's once in a while, it's a big improvement. And I feel good, no longer feeling hopeless about what the future has to come later down the line, 50, 60 years old. The fatigue has basically left. I had a long commute. I drive an hour to and from work. And then on the drive home, I was dreading it, just basically shaking my head around, drinking water, opening the window, blasting music just to feel like I needed to stay awake. And that seems like that's very rare now. But that was my everyday, and almost to the point where sometimes I want to pull over and say, hey man, I'm too tired. What's this all about? Basically, just after my lunch, it would linger into second half of my day because I get there pretty early. So I think it was a balance of, or combination of both, early morning and just crashing after lunch, and made me pretty tired, and even tired to the point where when I got home, I couldn't want to do all the chores and stuff that I needed to do to kind of get the night ready for, get the kids lunch ready the night before, do the dishes, make dinner, spend time with them. So my energy is returned. It feels great. I find myself doing way more exercise now than I did before. And I feel great. I'm very happy. I would take rapid release metformin twice a day, and then as well Jardiance. I have been taking Jardiance lately, but I have actually, since we spoke last, stopped taking it. My blood sugars seem to be pretty balanced as well. And the bloating that comes with that, the long-term effects on the kidneys, it's just miserable to have to take so many pills every day. And as well, it's not a long-term solution. Basically, it's just treating the problem rather than fixing the problem. And overall, I feel better, I feel healthier, and basically eating all the stuff that I never thought I'd be able to eat again. Once in a while, I'll be able to have a treat with the kids, which is kind of special. No one says, "Oh, Dad, you can't have that." Now they're excited to let me have whatever piece of their Pazuki or whatever like that. I would ask them, what's going on with their blood sugar and see if it's similar to mine, and mention all the help that you gave me as far as, I can't remember the specifics, Brooke did most of the blood work, but checking for those antibodies to see if if they have the right diagnosis. If you're going to go ahead and take pills and diet and exercise all you want, but eventually you're going to see those blood sugars continue to be high, and your body is needing that insulin. You're so resistant to anything that it's just almost all for nothing. So I'd point them in your direction and say, hey, at least check out his Instagram. Some of his stories, some of his posts are very specific, and it seemed like almost every one was something that I could be helped with directly. So start there, and then yeah, absolutely. If he or she needed it, to go with you and try your balanced blood work sugar roadmap. Thank you for all the help. You put me on the right track to get things all squared away for the future. Managing the insulin, introducing the carbs, basically allowing me to gain muscle and get off all the medications that were, messing up my liver and stuff like that. It's really important that, I have a future for my kids and myself, right? So appreciate it. Peace of mind is priceless.